Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. The theme for this week is why do Elliott Wave traders get it wrong? Although we're going to have a discussion on the Elliott Wave trading strategy, this is applicable to any trading strategy. Most of the time, 80 to 90% of the time, we can forecast the market with a high degree of accuracy, yet we are still not able to make profits or make consistent profits. Right, so we're going to be looking at that. I'm going to be going through an example. As I said, I'll focus specifically on the Elliott Wave strategy. I'm going to be using an example on pound yen to explain this. Before we get started, if you'd like to contact us, you can check out our contact details on our YouTube videos. If you go to the description of all our videos, you will find our contact details. So those are the details there. That's our email address, the contact number that you can use for Telegram or WhatsApp. You can also join our Telegram channel where you can get the live links for these webinars. To book your course, you can go to elliottwave-principle.com. That's our website. Right, so you can look at the website. So our next course has been moved up 1 week to the 17th of February. That means it starts this coming Wednesday. So you can buy the course, purchase the course on the website. You can watch the course immediately. As soon as you make a purchase, you'll get the recording of the full 10-day course. So that means when you attend live, you've already watched the course. You only get to interact and ask questions about specific modules that you would not have understood appropriately. Right, so that's the structure of the course. You'll find on the website as well. The details, you'll find it on the website. Check it out there. Now, let's get back to our theme. Why do Elliott Wave traders get wrong and traders in general? Right, so there is a chart that I want to show you on Slack that I posted for our members last year in April. This is a weekly chart on pound yen. Have a look at this chart. Let's have a look at this chart. Look at the date here. This was April of 2020. So that means almost a year ago on the weekly chart. So we were looking for pound yen to make this structure, which is a flat correction. So we were around 135 on pound yen at the time. Okay, so why would anyone want to sell pound yen if the structure is showing us this corrective structure? So since last year up to date, the theme has been to buy pound yen. You don't look at any sell setups until we reach our target. Where are we currently with pound? We're currently around here. This looks like a small move on the weekly, and this by no means a small move. This is 1,000 pips on pound yen alone. That's the forecast on the weekly. Okay, so this is not a trading chart. I'm not saying we've traded this 1,000 pips. This is a forecast. So I'm going to go to the lower time frames and go to the details so you can see how we actually trade this. So let me just minimize this here. So this was the forecast. This is where we were around 135. This is what we were forecasting here on pound yen. The structure is still the same. We're still looking for these to build this corrective structure. So that's why we've only been looking for buy setups on pound yen because we've got the higher degree structure. Now let's go to a Slack and you see some of the more detailed charts in the lower degrees so you can see how we trade this. So that was pound yen in April of last year. There's more on the daily, just showing the daily chart where this is going to make a move to the upside. Again, this is still not a trading chart. Daily will result in a bigger stop. Right, so I'm going to go through this. Let's scroll down to more setups on this. Let's have a look at the pinned charts here. Right, let's have a look on pound yen. I want to look at only the pinned charts. Let's have a look. Let's scroll down. Right, so now this is, let's check what the date is here. This is now around September, about 5 months after that weekly chart. So this was another update on our weekly chart. So we had already made this 1, 2, 3 wave move here. We're still looking for this to continue higher. Again, remember, for the target was for this to make these corrective structures. So we're updating members that we're still expecting upside. So what has happened since? What has happened here is that we have been making this move to the upside. Although there's a corrective structure here, you will see in the lower degree. Let's go through more of these pinned charts here on our Slack channel. Right, so have a look at this one here. So there was a forecast here on, while we were making this corrective structure, that we were going to have a corrective structure. We're going to come back down here and then make a move to the upside. This has not gone all the way up here. This has come around this level, has done this, and then we have pushed up higher. Now we have been trading this leg to the upside. Let's have a look here, showing you the detail now. So that is how this one has been playing out. Let's continue and look at these pin charts. Let's have a look at that move. Let's scroll. So as you can see, we're updating. It's coming down. It has made the correction as it was expected. It has come back down, and then we're looking for it to continue to the upside. Let's see. Let's continue with the chart. Just look at the highlighted ones. You'll see how this is playing out. Right, let's have a look at this one. This is now October. What were we looking for in October? In October on pound yen, now we've already completed this move. We were looking for this to do a move. It had already done this move up here. We were around here. So we looked for this to make a move down around 120 and make this three-wave structure. Okay, so we are currently around 145. We're currently around 145, and this structure is already in play, as you'll see when we go along. So we had this move to the downside and then made a move to the upside. Let's refer back to the chart here. Let's go to the daily here so we can see those structures, how they were playing out. So this is the leg that we're currently trading from around here at 132 to current levels. So we have been looking at, and if you look at the videos that we've been posting on YouTube, you'll see that we have been looking for this structure here on pound yen. Okay, let me do this. Let's put them side by side so you can see the Slack chart as well as the current chart. Let's have a look here. Let's make this one smaller. Right here, we've got it side by side. Right, let's look for more. Let's have a look here. So I want you to look at this chart here. This is a 4-hour chart. Let's put this one on the 4-hour as well, so you can see where this came from. So I want you to look at the left-hand side. Look at the left-hand side. We have got, okay, I'm gonna have to put it on the daily because you can't see the whole chart. Look at the bigger corrective structure here. This 1, 2, 3 structure here. From there, we were here at this level, 1, 2. We were looking for this to make a 3-wave structure to the upside. So what is our bigger structure here? It is this one here. I'm going to take it off the screen here. So just remember that this is the last end of that corrective structure. So I'm going to move this chart here. Just watch this. This is the last end here. That is the last end of that yellow correction here. There we have it. Now we start with the red. So this was in October last year here. This is October. Let's just make sure. This is October last year. November last year. We've got that. What were we looking for in November? In November, we had this structure. So we had a move here in the red degree. The red degree that I've just shown was this one here. Okay, so this is what happened. We've made a move here. This is the red degree that has played out. What is now eventually played out was this. You've got the corrective structure. We've got this corrective structure, which is what we're looking for here. Where are we now? We are here. That is the forecast. That is the forecast. That is what we're expecting. So the structure here, if you look from when it was forecasted, this was a WXY corrective structure. It was a three-wave structure that we were looking for. It is exactly how it is now playing out, a WXY corrective structure. When was this forecasted? A year ago. And this currently has already made over 1,300 pips to the upside. Again, like I said, this was not a trading chart, so every time we get these smaller entries in the lower degrees, this is the trade, this is how we've been trading this in the lower degree. All these pips to the upside is whenever we get a continuation pattern to the upside, we trade it to the upside, and that is how pound yen has played out. So let's just have a look here. So last week I also showed the latest chart on pound yen after. So you can see here, this is the update after the three-wave structure. So we've make the three-wave structure. What do we update here for members? Expect a correction. Again here, let me just show. This is how it has now played out. We expected that we're going to have that correction. Look at that. Okay, we don't say which correction. It can be any corrective structure, any of the corrections that Elliott has discovered. So this is how this plays out. This is how this plays out. Now, why would anyone want to sell pound yen if you have got a structure like this? Okay, two things that we use the Elliott Wave sequence, Elliott Wave strategy, as well as the indicator. If we had got it wrong here, the indicator would have shown us that this is the end of the sequence and we are now ready to make a move to the upside. And at this stage, we're just seeing continuation to the upside, and the indicator does not show us any reversal. That is a move on pound yen. Let me see if I can wrap it up here. Right, so let's get it wrapped up here. Let's get the latest charts. These are the updates, as you can see. We've been updating members, whether it is on the 4-hour and the higher degree. Here, this is the corrective structure here, showing that what's going to happen. It's going to come down, it's going to push to the upside. This is where it happens. It comes down and then it's going to push up. This is what we were showing our members. Expect all these moves to the upside. So if you've been a member on the website, on our group, you would have gotten all of these setups to the upside and this forecast. Okay. So that is how it has played out. Now, an interesting one was this one here. When we were here, look at this. When we were here, we said, this is going to make a move to the downside and it's going to push to the upside. It indeed makes a move to the downside and pushes to the upside. Granted that it made a move down, it made another one to the upside and made a move to the downside. But what we were looking for eventually was this structure. We're looking for this structure. We're simply looking for a flat correction. It plays out and makes a move to the upside. Simple. This is how we trade. Now, the reason why traders or Elliott Wave traders get it wrong is because you are only just coming here and start looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to be looking for ABC. Okay, so you come here, you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're looking for ABC. Why would you look for ABC how would you look for ABC correction if you don't know the overall structure? As I've shown you when we started, this structure comes from the higher degree. Okay, the weekly chart that was done in April of this year. Okay, so that is how we trade, and this is how pound yen has been playing out over the last couple of months. Okay, as it goes, we keep updating, as you can see. So that means you will know at any given time what the direction of the market is. These charts are posted on our website for members to view at any time. So we keep updating them. So this move plays out. So we're looking for this to continue to the upside, and that is how we trade. So if you want to get it right, make sure you understand the sequence correctly. You need to have the strategy. We've got our proprietary strategy that we use to confirm our cycles and sequences. I've always said that you cannot trade the Elliott Wave theory just looking at the sequence alone, because these charts are generated by a computer. You're reading them with the naked eye, but if you're reading using the indicator, it gives you a clear direction of where the reversal areas are. So your indicator needs to confirm your sequence, so that if you are wrong, then you can adjust. Right, so that is how we've been trading pound yen. Let's get started with this week's analysis. We'll be looking at some of the charts that we've got on our website. We're going to start with the US dollar pairs. Let's start with the DXY and what we expect in the next coming week. So as I've said in the beginning, I'm doing this theme because we've got some high probable trade setups coming up in the next coming weeks, and you'll find that as much as you know the direction of the market, there are some traders that are still not going to take advantage of these market moves. Right, so let's start with the DXY. I'll start with the dollar index. Let's start on the dollar index with the 4-hour. What have we been expecting on the DXY? Those that have been watching these videos will remember that we have focused on this move to the upside and a move to the downside. So this move to the upside has already played out. Why are we looking for downside? We are in this last wave that we're looking at here on the DXY. I'm only looking at the 4-hour. So this is what we focused on the DXY, that we're going to have a 1, 2, 3, and we're going to have a move to the downside. How is this playing out now? We still expect the US dollar weakness in the next coming weeks. Let's have a look. Let's go back to our live chart. We're still expecting the US dollar weakness in the coming weeks, so you'll see how this has played out. Let's look at the 4-hour. So that is that move. We've had the 3-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. That is an ABC corrective structure that we've got here. Now we've made an impulsive move to the downside. Look out for this. This looks too obvious to just go and sell next week. So this may be a little bit overextended before it drops. Okay, so remember the market makers idea here, they are only here to make money. They're not here to let you make money. So this looks like a setup. Okay, not setup as in like a trade setup, literally a setup. Okay, so you don't want to just come and rush into this. It looks very good for downside, but that is exactly what we're expecting. But we'll wait for the indicator to confirm when this is ready to drop. Okay, so that is the DXY. We expect it to continue lower. Euro US dollar. Those that have been watching will remember how we forecasted this whole corrective structure. When we were here, we said we're going to have a pullback and we're going to have a continuation to the downside. There were two options here, whether it was going to make a flat here first before it comes down, but eventually we were looking for this to continue to the upside. Let's have a look at this on the website. This is what it looks like. Euro US dollar on the 4-hour, the inverse of the DXY. As you can see, we are here, 3 waves. Right here, we expected the Euro US dollar to continue to the upside. Now we've made an impulse here. We're making this corrective structure, very good looking corrective structure, textbook setup almost. So we'll be looking for this to continue to the upside. So Euro US dollar, look for continuation to the upside on this corrective structure here, upside. 1, 2, 3 pullback, and we're expecting upside. Pound yen. So pound yen, we've been looking for these to reverse for the longest time, but we never got an indication for a reversal. So the structure that we've been looking at on pound yen, let's have a look at this. We have been looking at this to be making here a WXY, XZ correction here. So is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the lower degree on pound yen is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 back, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 back. Let's do this one. 1, 2, 3 back for the X. Is this a running flat? And are we gonna see 1, 2, 3? So pound yen, pound US dollar rather, is still pushing to the upside. What is the structure? It is W, it is X, it is Y. It's the Y here. Here's Y, X, and we're looking for this to be the Z here. So we're still looking for continuation to the upside on pound US dollar. Still showing us upside. We've got this lower degree, 1, 2, 3 here in W, pull back, 1, 2, 3 here in Y, pull back, 1, 2. We're looking for the 3 in Z here, okay, to play out. Okay, so continuation to the upside on pound US dollar in the next coming sessions. US dollar chief, let's have a look here. It looks exactly the same as the dollar index structure that we've got on US dollar chief. Let's have a look. Again, just like the DXY, we were expecting 1, 2, 3. We had a trade setup. We actually bought US dollar chief against the trend. I have just said here, you follow the trend in the beginning, but if you know what you're looking for example, we were looking for a pullback here. We're taking advantage of this short market move here. So we bought this one here, got this trade set up here to around 950 exactly, and a move to the downside. Let me just show you that trade setup on US dollar chief. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Right, so here it is. This is a trade setup on US dollar CHF. As you can see, we were only taking advantage of this short market move. We bought it here. Yes, indeed, it has played out. It did this, 1, 2. We're looking to buy it on a running flat. It actually made a flat, did not hit our stop, and has played out exactly as forecasted to this level. So what happens after this? It has now started a move to the downside. What are we looking for now? Now we're resuming with the downtrend, and now we're looking for trades to the downside on US dollar CHF. This is how it has played out. Let's have a look here on the live chart. So this is a US dollar CHF 1, 2. That's our buy setup here. Makes a move to the upside. We're expecting this downside. Now, like I said, with euro, US dollar, and the dollar index, this is too obvious for you to just come and sell it to the downside here. Wait for a confirmation, whichever strategy that you use. This can be a little bit overextended. So let me just show you what could potentially happen here. You have got this impulsive move to the downside. This impulse has got 3 waves. 4, we are in wave 4. You could get wave 5 here and you start pulling back before you get the one that you're looking for. So if you sell it here, you may get it right and then it just goes, but be mindful of this. The indicator will tell us whether this is going to go in a straight line or whether we're going to get a pullback. So both the sequence and the indicator should confirm. So that is what we're going to be looking at on the US dollar CHF, continuation to the downside. As you can see, the theme is for continued US dollar weakness in the coming weeks. Another one that we've been saying, do not sell for the last couple of months is a US dollar CAD. You don't sell US dollar CAD. Look at this weekly structure on US dollar CAD. We've been looking for this to continue to the downside. So any pullback on US dollar CAD, you sell. You don't buy. It's not time to buy US dollar CAD as yet. So we had the pullback here on the 4-hour 3-wave structure here. We're still looking for continuation to the downside. Let's just have a look here at the 4-hour structure on US dollar CAD. So there we go. We have this pullback here and we're looking for this one to continue lower. And that is what we are getting on US dollar CAD. This is where we were. We're looking for this to continue lower. It is still showing continuation to the downside. We still have continuation to the downside. Look for that. Okay. That's what you have on US dollar CAD. Audi US dollar, the uptrend has resumed, similar to what we're looking at on Euro US dollar. Upside is resuming after this 3-wave pullback. This is a zigzag that you have here on Audi US dollar, a WXY corrective structure. That's a double. So we have got a move to the upside. We're looking for this. Again, you can see there's 5 waves here. You can get a pullback here and you get a deeper one before it resumes upside. But what we're looking for eventually is for this to have broken out of this corrective structure. These are not trend lines, these are channels to show the corrective structure. You'll be looking for this to push up higher on Audi US dollar. This is the structure here on the website, Audi US dollar. So members have got these charts way before they play out. So now we have played out, we've pushed up higher, we are around this level, we're looking for this. So 1, 2 has played out, now we're looking for this leg to the upside. That is Audi US dollar. New Zealand US dollar, let's have a look. Now, New Zealand US dollar, pretty interesting. Let's have a look. So because we're expecting upside on the rest of the US dollar pairs, that is against the US dollar, we will expect New Zealand to push up higher as well. Will it only push to this level? Why would we expect it to only push to that level? We may be getting a deeper corrective structure as follows. So this could be a 1, 2, 3-wave move around this level, and we could still get 1, 2, 3 here. Let's switch off here. So this does not have to play out. So currently, we are only concerned about this short move up to this level. If we break out of this structure, we will look for continuation to the upside. But the clear structure is on Audi US dollar. So we're looking for continuation to the upside. US dollar ZAR, I've shown the corrective structure that we're looking at last week. So this is what you're still looking for. Look for this pullback here. There's a possibility that US dollar ZAR will give you, we've already have an impulse, we've got a 3-wave pullback. We may retest this low and make a bounce, but this bounce may result in one leg lower on US dollar ZAR before resuming upside. Pound yen, we've already detailed pound yen and what we expect of this one. Expect this one to continue to the upside. US dollar yen, let's have a look here on US dollar yen, what we expected, what our members saw before the moves. So let's go to the yen pairs. So US dollar yen, what did we expect? We expected a move to the upside. This is another one which we had a trade set up on to buy it around these levels. We bought it up to this level. So this is the setup here. Let's just have a look at that trade setup on our US dollar yen. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find it. So this is US dollar yen. You can see the trade setup here. We looked for this one to go at around 104. We eventually got up to 105. That's fine. We took what we could and got out of the trade. Now, what do we have here? What is the forecast on US dollar yen? Let's have a look at it. This is the structure. So the chart was posted on the 7th, that was a week ago on our website. We expected this pullback that you see currently happening and the continuation to the upside. What do we have now on US dollar yen? We already have that pullback. Is this the move to the upside? That needs to be confirmed by the indicator. We could be getting a continuation to the upside. Let's see how this plays out in the week ahead. Do not just go and buy this because this could be a corrective structure for downside. So let's just watch that for now. Euro yen, expect a bit of a continuation to the upside up until these levels. We could be getting a pullback here and a structure like this. But this is not the clearest structure that we have on the yen pairs. So I'd rather not stay away or from euro yen. Okay, for now. The one that has got a clear structure is CHF yen. Let's have a look at CHF yen here on the 4-hour. CHF yen has made this corrective structure here and is making another 3-wave corrective structure. Or is this an impulse? Let's see how this is going to play out. We're looking for this one to continue to the upside like that. That is CHF yen. CAD yen has been showing continuation to the upside for a while. I'm going to show this one on the daily. There's no trade setup in the lower degree, but the daily is showing us continuation to the upside. And this is coming from this 3 waves to the upside correction here. And we're looking for continued move to the upside. So any continuation pattern on CAD yen, you take it in the lower degrees. That is 4-hour. Let's have a look. Another setup for upside. Every time you see this continuation pattern, CAD yen is pushing up higher. CAD yen is pushing up higher. That's why we're expecting US dollar yen to continue higher as well. Right, so New Zealand yen, let's have a look here. You can see on the 4-hour, similar structure to CAD yen. It's 3 waves to the upside. You've got these 3 waves as well. And now we're looking for this to continue higher. Even here, we're still looking for this to push higher. It has already made such a significant move to the upside, not so safe to be buying right now. You need to be clear what structure you're looking for. You've got the 3 waves in red to the upside, 3 waves pull back. Now you're looking for another 3 waves to the upside in this degree. So continuation to the upside. We'll see a pullback first before pushing up higher. There is significant strength on Audi and New Zealand. Let's have a look here. So Audi yen has made this corrective structure similar to what you've seen on Audi US dollar. While Audi US dollar was making this structure, while Audi US dollar was making this structure here, 1, 2, 3, Audi yen was making this structure. Similar structure, as you can see, this is Audi yen. Left-hand side on the annotation is Audi US dollar. This is how it is now playing out. We're actually around these levels, looking for continuation to the upside. This has also made this 3-wave corrective structure. Now we're expecting continuation to the upside. It makes an impulse correction here. This is where Audi US dollar is currently. Audi US dollar is here. Audi yen has already broken out of that corrective structure. So we expect Audi US dollar to do the same because it is lagging Audi yen. Let's see how that's going to play out in the next coming weeks. So that's why I've been saying the structures look very clear for the next coming sessions. Let's have a look at gold. Gold is starting to look a little bit tricky. Let's have a look at it on the daily and look at the bigger structure. So this is gold here on the daily. we have been looking for gold to give us this structure, which is 3 waves down and 3 waves to the upside and 3 waves down. But these last 3 waves, we're expecting it to be this whole corrective structure. So what we're going to have on gold is these 3 waves to the downside, 1, 2, 3 up, and 1, 2, 3. So we're still expecting these to be coming down. So gold currently is making under the red degree. We've got 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this one here. We've got this 1, 2, 3. It's just going to be a mess now if I put in the green degree, but let's just have a look at this green degree lower than the red structure. Right, so that's what we're going to be looking at there. Okay, so that's the structure on gold. So let's have a look at this low on the lower. Let's have a look at the lower degree here on gold. Let's go to the 4 hour. So the 4 hour here, that's the green degree that I was showing here. 1, 2, 3. Looks like a running flat here, and we'll expect gold to continue to the downside. But let's have a look at silver if it supports the structure on gold. So silver, the structure that we're looking at here, let's have a look. So silver, bigger structure on the 4 hour. This is how we looked at it last week. Let's show it in yellow. 1, 2, 3. That's what we're expecting on silver. We had this sharp move that came and retested the top, and we eventually started the drop. Is this what silver is going to do now? A move to the downside in 3 waves. So we've got these 3 waves to the downside. We're expecting this to be the 3 waves to the upside. This is a WXY corrective structure, so we're expecting another 3 waves to the downside, looking for this double combination and then upside on silver. That is the structure that we're looking at on silver. A bit of a continuation to the downside to complete this structure, similar to what we're expecting on gold. Let's see if that's going to be confirmed here. So we're going to need to see this structure here, possibly come down here, and we can even get a bounce there before coming down. So watch that structure. That's not a trade setup. It's a forecast on the commodities. Let's have a look at Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil, our target of 60 has been reached, and it was simply this. We're simply looking for this on Brent crude, and it has played out. We're simply looking for this to give us a 3-wave corrective structure, and from down here, we have been buying Brent crude, looking for this impulsive move, correction, and then upside as follows. So now we've reached our target. That's an ABC corrective structure, but we're not seeing signs of reversal yet. This is still continuing to the upside. We're going to see continuation to the upside on Brent crude. Pound chief. So pound chief has now broken out of this corrective structure. We've made a move to the upside. We're looking at this as a corrective structure in 3 waves. Now we've started a move to the upside. Okay. So now look for this here. There's an entry here on the 4 hour. Look for a continuation to the upside. What you're simply looking for here is an A, B, and a C corrective structure here on pound chief. That's what you're going to be looking at. Let's go to the 4 hour. Look at that trade setup. Again, it looks too obvious to just come and buy here, but you need to be careful here. So we've got the 3 waves, simple 3-wave structure here, looking for continuation to the upside. Remember, on the bigger degree, we're looking for upside on pound chief. Pound CAD, let's have a look here at pound CAD. So pound CAD, we'll see a bit of a push to the upside. This can be pulled by the rest of the pound pairs. We can see a pullback and continuation to the upside eventually still. So let's have a look at the daily on pound CAD. So the daily structure on pound CAD looks something like this. The reason why we're still expecting a bit of a push to the upside is this. We're looking at this structure. I've been showing the similar structure for a while now. So pound CAD can push to the upside. The pound pairs, except for pound Audi and pound New Zealand, are looking upside. And the reason why pound New Zealand and pound Audi may be looking downside is because of the strength in the Audi and the New Zealand. So that's the structure. We've been looking for a structure like this. We've been looking for a structure like this. For a structure like this. What is this structure? It's an ABC corrective structure here on pound CAD. Are we going to get this to the downside? That we need to get confirmation. Let's have a look here. This will be a, let's see here, WXY corrective structure. What about the red? The red will be an ABC see corrective structure. If you look at this, they are all on the same degree. That's just because of the annotation that I'm using, but this is not the same degree. The red is smaller than the white. The white is the bigger structure. So we could get a push to the upside here. You can get an entry for upside. The indicator can even tell you you're going up. What the indicator won't tell you is how far you will go. That's where the sequence comes in. That's why I tell our traders that you cannot rely on the indicator alone. It's easy to just look at the indicator because the Elliott Wave strategy and the theory may be a bit complex. So you cannot use it alone. Otherwise, you're going to make mistakes. So we're going to be looking for this and then downside. Indicator can tell you are going up here, but it won't tell you you're only just making a small move. But the sequence, if the indicator tells you continue to the upside and the sequence tells you you're still going to continue to the upside, then that's the trade setup, and you are able to determine your risk to reward ratio, because it's not all trades whose direction you know that you want to get involved on. You also have to look at the risk to reward ratio for that specific trade. So that is pound CHF and pound CAD. And as I said, pound AUD and pound New Zealand are looking mostly downside, or giving us a deeper pullback. So this is what we're looking at on pound AUD. We may be getting this structure. We may be getting this continuation to the downside on pound AUD. If you look at the trend on pound AUD, it looks downside. Let's have a look here. We've been making this pulsing move to the downside from the beginning of 2020. That's the move we've got. Is this now going to be a running flat and we're going to see continuation to the downside? We may have this here on pound AUD. I've actually got a trade set up for a sell here, looking for this to continue to the downside and do that, and then upside. But let's see what we get from here. We've got a move that we're expecting to the downside. We could be getting this here. Okay, we could be getting that and a move to the downside. So let's have a look in the lower degree. If that fails, that means we're still going to have a continuation to the upside here on pound AUD to come and retest here, which will follow the rest of the pound pairs to the upside, then downside. That is pound AUD. Let's have a look at it on the 4-hour, looking very interesting. So last week in our group, we sold pound AUD here. We got this move to the downside. Now, it is still showing downside, not as aggressive as we had expected, because it has already come back up to entry and is continuing to the downside. Let's just have a look at that trade setup here. We've got that trade setup here on the website here. Let's have a look, trade setups. So this is what we're expecting on pound AUD. It has not played out as the way we expected. It has just made this move down here and has pulled back again up to entry. Is this still going to play out? It looks like we're still going to see continuation to the downside on pound AUD. Let's see how that's going to play out. That's pound AUD, pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand and pound AUD are supposed to be correlated. So we'll expect a bit of a push to the downside here. Now, with pound New Zealand, the move to the downside may be to make the following structure. Let's have a look. So this is on the daily. So the daily on pound New Zealand could be giving us these 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and we see another move to the downside before we see continuation to the upside. Otherwise, if we do not get this drop and this goes sideways, the structure is going to change. That is pound New Zealand. We're going to be watching that. Euro pound has been dropping, obviously because of the strength in the pound pairs. That is the pound pairs that are the base pairs on their current respective currencies. So we're still looking for continuation to the downside. That's why we're expecting the pound pairs to continue higher in the next coming sessions. EURAUD, another one that we sold last week. EURAUD, have a look at this one. We'll look at this one on the website. So this was our theme for the week during our live trading rooms. From the Monday, this is the structure that I showed to our members, that we are going to have a drop from here coming down. We have already dropped about 200 pips in just that week alone. Where does that come from? Let's have a look at EURAUD just so you can see where that comes from. Let's go to the Euro pairs. Very interesting. So this is the chart that we looked at on Monday in our group. Can you see that corrective structure? What has happened? 200 pips to the downside. When was this chart posted? Let's have a look at this chart. The chart was posted in January. We are already in February. In the second week of February, this has now dropped over 200 pips. So this is the benefit of being in our trading room. So we've got these live trading room sessions daily from 8 a.m. GMT. That is the start, around the start of the London time. That's how we're looking at the charts. So EURAUD, expect continuation to the downside. Let me just check here. Do I have a setup on this one? I think we did not post the setup on EURAUD. Let's just go back to trade setups. Okay, EURAUD was not posted, so we're going to look at some more. Let's have a look at EURAUD. Continuation to the downside. Euro New Zealand. We expect Euro New Zealand to follow EURAUD, although Euro New Zealand did not quite show the drop here. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. We'll expect continuation to the downside. We'll expect it to follow EURAUD as well. So here we're looking for downside. EURCAD. So EURCAD, we still have a trade setup on EURCAD that we took from here. We took EURCAD trade setup from here. It is now pulling back as follows. Is this a three-wave structure? We're going to see EURCAD continue to the downside to eventually hit the target. So this is the trade setup on EURCAD. Let's just have a look at it, see if we can find it. EURCAD was a very straightforward, painless trade on EURCAD. So this is it. As you can see, we have dropped around this area. We are now pulling back with this correction that I'm currently looking at now, and we'll be looking for EURCAD to drop like this. That's what you have on EURCAD. Let's have a look at the current chart that is and see how this is playing out. This is EURCAD. So it has dropped from here, not like that, from here. We have dropped around here. We are now correcting with this move. We expect it to come here because this is our target. Obviously, it has taken a long time, but that's fine. That's okay. If you've taken the trade here, you are now in break even. You let them, you let the pair do whatever it wants. In any case, you are not going to lose the trade here. You are safe. It is risk free. EURJPY. Right, so EURJPY on the 1 hour, what we're expecting this one to make a continuation to the downside. So if I just go to the 4 hour and show you the structure that we forecasted last week, this is what we expected last week. Last week we had this structure. We actually forecasted it from here, expecting this to make 1, 2, 3 waves to the upside and then a drop. Now we're still expecting that drop to continue on EURJPY. So watch out for this for downside. That is EURJPY. Let's look at the crosses. AUD New Zealand. Until you get a pullback, just look for continuation to the upside. Do not get onto this before you get a pullback. It is just making a straight line. You're going to get a correction soon. Okay, so that is AUD New Zealand. AUDCAD, we've got a trade setup on this one. A very nice, painless trade setup on this one that I'll show you just now. This is the three-wave. Remember, this is an Audi pair. It is AUDCAD. We've got Audi US dollar. We've got Audi yen. Whose structures have made the same corrective structures here. We've got this W, X, and a Y. We expect this to make a continuation to the upside. We've already started a trade setup here. Move to the upside is expected. This is what we have here. That's the trade setup here that we've got on the website on AUDCAD. That's the structure that we're expecting. So you'll see that the charts are clean and you get a full chart on a new page so you can see it clearly. This is the setup. We've already broken up about 50 pips. Has not really gone anywhere, but we expect it to continue to the upside. That is AUDCAD. Let's run through the rest of the cross pairs. Right, so another Audi pair. Expect the same. Three-wave pullback. Now push to the upside. This is another three-wave move. This one is going to continue to the upside, although we may get this one making a flat here before pushing up higher. So let's just have a look at that detail here. We may get this one making this 3 waves down, 3 waves up. We can get another 3 waves down, makes a flat, but eventually the trend is upside. That's what we're expecting on AUDCHF as well. New Zealand CAD, strengthen the New Zealand for the short term. So we could be looking for this one to be coming down here and then upside. New Zealand CHF, again, we'll be expecting this one to continue to the upside. Okay, you can look at the detailed structures from last week's webinar. CADJPY, expect continuation to the upside. I'll show you the bigger structure now. 1, 2, we're expecting upside here. The CADJPY structure, look at it on the daily, and this is why we're expecting upside. So we're expecting CADJPY to go and retest the upper boundary of the channel. We're not trading trend lines. We're looking at this as a 1, 2. We're looking at this one as a 3. So that is the structure we're looking at. That's why we're expecting this one to come to the upside here. So you'll see that most of the time the structures coincide with the boundaries of these channels. So we just use the channels to look at the corrective structure boundaries, and they most of the time are in the same line as the boundaries of the channels. Okay, so that is what we have here on CADJPY. And as you can see, the expectation here is that we're gonna get to this confluence between what we're expecting and the upper boundary of the confluence of the structure and the upper boundary of the channel. That is CADJPY. Let's continue. So those are all the Forex pairs and commodities. Let's have a look at the indices. I have been saying just one simple thing on the indices for the longest time. So this is the S&P 500. So we forecasted the indices from around this area. Let me see if I can show you where the charts from around here. Right, so here are some of the charts. I've got the NASDAQ chart here. It is exactly the same structure as the S&P 500 chart. Okay, this is the NASDAQ. So when we were here on the NASDAQ, this was October of last year. So this current leg on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, the Dow, those moves we forecasted last year in October. We expected these moves to play out, and this is how these moves have been playing out. So what have I been saying since October last year? Since we got to this level, I've been saying every time this week, every single week, I've been saying every time you get a continuation to the upside, it is an opportunity to ride onto the trend. This is where we were on the S&P 500. You kept getting this continuation pattern. You kept getting these pullbacks. You kept getting this deeper one. This is a nice one to ride onto. What do we have now? We've got another one. We've got another one, and we'll be looking for this to continue to the upside. There is no sign of reversal yet on the indices. We're still expecting continuation to the upside. Look at the Dow. Same structure, exactly the same structure. So if you go to a video around these dates, around 29th of October, even when we were here, we expected this downside and then upside. Okay, when we were here, I expected this to just go in a straight line because I was only expecting a single correction here, but it made a flat. When it made a flat and we got here, we said, okay, this is now going to give us a move to the upside. That is on the Dow. What did we see in the last couple of days? We saw this corrective structure. We've been saying every time you see that correction, look for buy setups. What's happening now on the Dow? Another one. We're still expecting continuation to the upside. That's where the structures come from. Right, the NASDAQ, I've just shown you the NASDAQ. This is from where we were looking for upside on the NASDAQ, just looking for buy setups on the NASDAQ. Let's have a look at the UK 100. So the UK 100, go around these dates, around September, you'll see that we were forecasting this corrective structure, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and these 3 waves to the downside. Where am I seeing those 3 waves? 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3 waves down. What structure does that make? It is a double combination, a simple double combination. It's easy to see it now that it has already played out. Okay, but we see this before it plays out. So a good trader is a trader that is able to see what the direction is on the right-hand side of the chart. I mean, the left-hand side of the chart, anybody can forecast, anybody can see what was happening. But what you do not know is what's going to happen on this side. So this is the UK 100. We had the move to the upside. We had this correction in WXY. So this was an ABC corrective structure. If you look at this first leg, it has made a diagonal like as follows. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 leading diagonal in wave A. You know, you find the leading diagonal in wave A as well as in wave 1. So we had the leading diagonal in A. Is this the C here that we were looking for? We had that move. We expected it to come and play out here. So this is an impulsive move, ABC corrective structure. Is this the end of this move? We are looking now at this corrective structure. Let's have a look at it in the lower degree. In the lower degree, that corrective structure is not ready for a move to the downside as yet. So what are we seeing here? So on the UK 100, look out for this. We've made a pulsing move up. We're making this corrective structure. We'll be looking for this to make a move to the upside. Whether or not this is going to continue to the upside, we cannot determine right now, but this short move to around these levels should be what plays out in the next week. Whether this is going to be just a three-way pullback and we're going to see continuation to the downside, we'll see when we get to this level. That is the UK 100, the DAX. What did we say about the DAX? So let me show you the DAX on the chart that we've got here. Let's have a look at the DAX chart. Indices. DAX. So the DAX, this is the chart from just last week. So we're seeing this continuation to the upside, looking for this to start a pulsing move to the upside. This is what we have. Where are we now currently with the DAX? Let's have a look. We've already broken that structure as expected. Now we are making another corrective structure. Indicator is supporting a move to the upside. So watch out for continuation to the upside on the DAX as well. The Nikkei, this is another one of those that I've been saying since this year that we bought in the Nikkei here. But I'm not just saying it. I'll show you this every single week. During this webinars, you see this. Let's have a look at the Nikkei. Let's have a look at the Nikkei. So this chart on the Nikkei, this is the latest one. Let's just have a look here. The Nikkei does not show when we bought it here. So we actually bought the Nikkei here. If we go to the videos around these dates, you'll see that we were expecting, actually for a while this corrective structure was playing out, we've been saying the Nikkei is going to push to the upside. This was in January. We still expect the Nikkei to continue to the upside. This was on the 23rd, about 3 weeks back. On the Nikkei, we were looking at this corrective structure. This is how it has played out. We are still pushing up higher. What's happening now? We're still expecting more upside on the Nikkei. But it is not safe to just come and buy here after such a big move. Wait for a correction. Do not have FOMO, fear of missing out. You've already missed out so much, so you don't want to be coming in here unless you've got a strategy to manage it. This is the actual chart. This is the actual chart that I was looking at on the Nikkei. Or is it? Let's have a look. Yes, this one was from October last year. Can you see what we expected? This wave 2, we have now pushed up higher, even higher than what we forecasted there. That is the Nikkei chart, and that is how it is playing out. We're looking for this to be a wave 1 that starts with a leading diagonal, and this to be the wave 3. You can see that we've got a wave 3 missing in the yellow degree here. So that is what we were expecting here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So a pullback on the Nikkei is only the wave 3. Let's have a look at that chart. So that's what you have here. Right. That's the Nikkei. And lastly, on the indices is the Nifty. Nifty, we saw this one making this pullback last week, is now broken continuously to the upside. What do we expect? We're still expecting more upside. Although upside is now risky, the indicator has not shown any signs of reversal on the indices. All right, so thank you very much for watching the videos. If you've enjoyed the video, if you feel that this is something that's going to help you, please hit that bell notification button so that you can get a notification when we post the video. If you can drop us a like, a comment, we'll consider or look at your comments as well. Your suggestions are most welcome. Have a great week. Trade responsibly. Cheers. Bye-bye.